Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. Hi, everyone. I'm over here. And today we are coming live from our own individual places. As you can see, we're not together. Gloria's in her studio, and I'm over here in my house with my lovely Christmas hat.
Happy holidays, she's already ahead.
Happy holidays. I'd like to start with this. You'll be seeing it every chat going forward until the holidays.
Yay!
Thank you so much for tuning in for another chit chat. We love our girly chit chats and want to remind you before we get going to hit that thumb icon below this video, just so that we know you've watched it and you like it. You'll love it, right? Our chats.
Yes.
So you'll definitely hit the thumb icon. And if you're new to this channel, thank you so much. And please consider subscribing to our channel. Yay. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our chats. And as you know, we love our teas. That's how we call Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. And we always talk about our teas that we're drinking. And today I'm drinking a nice one I've drank before, and I've already highlighted it before, but it is my Jamaica, which is a Japanese roasted brown rice with popcorn in it. So I like that, and I've had it steeping for a bit. So it's in my little cup that has the steeper inside. I'm going to remove the steeper. And Gloria can tell us what she's drinking.
Well, as you all know, I am your lemon girl, and today I am drinking the Tulsi lemon ginger tea. I love Tulsi because it's about ancient wellness. Their teas are for reducing stress, supporting the immune system, builds stamina, aids in digestive, anti-aging, lots of really, really good components. And the ingredients is organic lemon. So it's kind of hard not to mess with that. And then it has a little organic ginger. Primary source is the lemon. So
nice. So cheers.
See my goddess girl, isn't she gorgeous?
Oh my God.
Isn't she sexy?
Cheers. Yeah, sexy.
Oh, that is perfect. Just what I needed. So let's get this party started. As we always tell you, we are Ellen girls, and Ellen always reminds us to be kind to one another. During COVID, when we were all sheltered and we couldn't be together, she reminded everyone to please be, kind to each other and to listen. So we want to make sure that you continue this forward because those are good attributes. Ellen is well into the swing of her final season 19. She's also into the swing of 12 Days of Christmas. I can't believe it. Her final 12 days of Christmas. Yesterday, she had Chrissy Teigens on the show, and Chrissy was there hyping her new cookbook that she did. And it was really cute because Ellen talked to her about being at home with the kids, and one of their kids drew on her arm and on John's arm little pictures, like a little butterfly. And the adults agreed that they would, get them turned into tattoos. Well, I think John second thought that, and he was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But I thought it was just really cute, and it's in the spirit of Ellen.
Well, Chrissy actually went ahead and did it because they both agreed on it.
I know.
Hers is a butterfly, and it looks cute as can be.
Yeah, but the one that John had apparently wasn't as cute as could be.
No, John I thought that hers, she said that his one looked nicer than hers.
I know.
And he never got it done.
I know. I don't think John's going to do it. I think it's the needles,
No, because he's had a tattoo before. He had it. Remember when their son Jack passed away? They both got the same tattoo.
Yes.
So he's had tattoos before. He knows what they're all about.
Yeah, he just decided he wasn't going to do it after Chrissy got hers done.
Yeah, so I don't know, for whatever reason he didn't do it. But John, you need to go ahead and do it. You made that promise.
True. And the other thing is Ellen had the pleasure of highlighting this wonderful person. I'm going to let Rosetta tell you a little more about it.
Oh, yeah. So, me and Gloria, we love when she highlights all these heroes, right? Yes. So this is a good one, very good one. There's a guy named Zach Squaw. His name is Zach Squaw. and he's actually a recovering drug and alcoholic addict. And he had been doing it for a very, very long time. By the age he was 17, he was deep into the addiction, deep.
Wow.
He said, as so deep that he started to turn yellow. Can you believe that? He started to turn yellow, and he was swelling up in his belly. And it ended up that he had like end stages of liver failure. So you know, when you have that alcohol addiction, it affects the liver big time. And it got to a point where he was so yellow and his liver was failing. But the turning point, he said, was that his dad stuck by him all this time, and his dad got him into a transplant center. So he turned it all around when his dad got him into the transplant center, and he said that he saw himself one day walking past a mirror, and he'd just seen the look on, like, just because, you know, when you're in that state, you don't really notice exactly how you look to other people.
Right.
And he saw himself in the mirror. He was all yellow and swelled, and that just really shook him up. For some reason, that was a thing that shook him up and got him to wake up and see that he has to do something about himself. So what he did was he turned it around, and he started, I wrote this down because I don't want to forget, but he started walking in the mountains with dogs, with a pack of dogs. And he loved that experience. And over the time, he's added more and more dogs to go walking with. And he was fostering dogs, and he now has a foster program, Lake Lodge foster program, for the Humane Society, for the Canine Canyon Ranch. That's what it is, Canine Canyon Ranch. So what he does is that through all this is what the positive, they call it, positive change came. The Marley's mutts were born. And that what this is all about is a program where they take dogs from rescues, and they bring them to like people that have been incarcerated. And they actually have a 14-week program where they send them deep into these incarcerated prisons, and they do a program where these men that are incarcerated, they help them and train them to become dogs that are for therapy dogs, like healing dogs.
Right.
So he said that there's some statistics. He says that we incarcerate 2 million people, and out of that, it affects 10 million children and millions of dogs, because they have to give up, or they have to surrender all their dogs when they go into incarceration. So he thought, what a good idea to have this 14-week program where the dogs didn't have to be put to sleep.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Euthanized.
That's the term. Euthanized. They put them into these 14-week programs, and with the inmates. And then the day comes when they become therapy dogs, and some inmates, they get these vocational certifications, which is great, because now they've got some skills.
Right.
And when they leave, this is the statistics of when they graduate. 650 students graduate from this vocational 14-week program, and then 50 students have been released onto the streets, and 0% of them have returned back into the prison because of this vocational 14-week program. And on average, usually it's about 70% of these inmates that get released are returned back into prison. So this is a really great program that he puts on for the inmates, and also to get more therapy dogs for people that are in need of therapy dogs. Because a lot of people, I mean, I've seen people walking around with dogs, and they don't actually have any kind of tags or any kind of thing to say that I'm a therapy dog. You just know as a person, if you have a therapy dog, that's what it's for. But what I like about this is that Ellen partnered with Tis Best, and they both donated $250,000 to the whole cause of this.
Yes.
Not only did they give him $20,000, they also gave him a check for 5,000 so that he could give to any charity of his choice.
Nice. So it's 25,000, not 250,000.
No, it's 20,000. Sorry, 20,000 was from Tis Best
Right.
for his whole program,
Right.
positive changes, and then
Right.
additional 5,000 for him to give away to a charity of his choosing.
I love how she started doing that. When she gives to one person, she also gives them something that they can pay forward. So I love that.
I love
that's
that.
awesome.
So that
I
you
just
get
wanted
that
to
ripple effect.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we clarified because initially you said 250,000.
Yeah, I made him. That was my mistake. It's 20,000 additional
Yeah, hey, that's
5,000.
still a lot of money.
It
That's a lot
is.
of
It's a
money.
lot of money. Yes, it is. 20K. Wow. I mean, you know what you could do? A lot of stuff for 20K, right?
Yes,
And I
that's
love the
awesome.
fact that he's actually helping the inmates so that when
Yes.
they are actually a better person, and when they come out of prison, they can be a positive force for society to give back to the
Yes.
society. I love that.
Yes, I do too. Well, thank you so much for bringing that out so that we could talk about it. That is wonderful. So we're going to move on. Yesterday, or last night, was the People Choice Award. Oh my God, there were so many oh my God moments. So the first award of the night was won by Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, for Best Male Movie Star.
What?
Yes, so he won for that. Action movie star Simu Liu from The Legend of the Ten Rings. He won for, action movie star, which I thought was really cool because it's the first time that we had an Asian superhero. So I was very happy for that. Then Ellen won for Best Talk Show, since we just
nice,
talking
Ellen.
about her. Yep.
You know our girl.
She said that she had won 25 People Choice Awards in her career in her 19 seasons. So that was pretty cool. The thing I thought was interesting is when they announced Ellen, she was sitting with Portia. And so Portia kisses her, and right next to Portia is Kris Jenner. And next to Kris Jenner is Khloe. And you're like, oh, this is really cute. And then it was Chris's guy. Like, we made a comment, how is he with Ellen and we couldn't see Kris? So now we got to see Kris was there too. So that was
so
cool.
we know, and they must be pretty close because they sat together at Adele's concert, and now they're sitting together at the People's Choice Award.
Exactly. So they must live really close together, and they must be very friendly. Let's see, the fashion icon of 2021 was Kim Kardashian, and Tracy Ellis Ross was 2020. So she passed the baton to her. Kris had on this jumpsuit, action, skin tight, with these big, huge glasses. I think if she had taken the glasses off, it would have been better.
Sunglasses.
They were huge. They covered her whole face.
Yeah, why do people do that? They're indoors and they're wearing sunglasses. I don't get that. A lot of celebrities do that.
Well, I think sometimes it's, there are certain people who they can't deal with the fluorescent lights, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's people in their ego.
That's not Kris. She doesn't have no problem with the lights.
Yeah, well, Kris actually put the glasses on later on. No, not Kris. Ellen put the glasses on later on after Kim got off the stage. But as part of Kim's thank you, she also acknowledged that Kanye had taught her a lot about the fashion industry because, she goes, I'm a social media girl, and now I know a lot about fashion, and thank you, Kanye. I thought that was really sweet.
Nice.
Yes. Jimmy Fallon was the nighttime talk host winner.
Oh, nice.
Christina Aguilera performed, and she was the music icon of 2021. She looked fabulous.
Music icon, but I haven't heard her do anything of 2021. What did she do?
I haven't heard her do anything either, but I guess she's been touring, or she's been, doing these, what is that? The residency in Vegas. But people were excited that she won. And I don't know if I don't think it was from 2020 and 2021 only. I think it was her statement of work, because like you said, I haven't heard her drop a new song. However, she sounded amazing. Her voice, the clarity, it was really, really good. Scarlett Johansson won for female movie star for Black Widow. So that was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, also won for the movie. I can't think of the name of it now, but this win was for comedy. The one where he's on the ship.
Yeah, the one that they're on the ship. Oh,
yes.
Jungle
Book
or Jungle something.
Yeah, the last one that he did, that's what he won that for.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We always see him as the muscle guy. And this one, like they showed a clip and he was like, I got it. And he goes, I don't got it. And they dropped. So he won for that. And then Halle Berry won for Female Artist of the Year. She did a really, really good job in that she talked about how it is to be who she is. And I didn't realize this. It's been 20 years since a Black female won Best Female Oscar.
Wow. Who was the last woman to win? I don't even
Halle
remember.
Berry.
Oh, she won it.
Yes, she was the second. I think the first one was from the movie Gone in the Wind, the lady who played
Gone with the Wind. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So she won number one. No, maybe she's number three. I think she won number one. Whoopi won number two for Ghost. And I think Halle won number three.
That's right. Whoopi. Yeah, I remember that.
So, her thing was she wants to inspire young Black actresses to know that you can do this, just keep moving forward. And her last movie, she actually directed. So Halle has a new movie that's going to be coming out. What is her name? Let's see. Of course, the female artist, which is music of the year, is Adele.
Okay.
I mean, who else could win that after she dropped that?
Well, it better be Adele. Hope it's not someone else.
I know it would have been a little bit of a mess, but it was Adele. Selena Gomez won for a show that's called Only Murders in This Building. And it's her and I think it's Steve Martin, and I can't think of the other guy. And they go through their complex looking for murders. And she was so gracious and she was grateful for the fact that she won. The action movie of the year actually was Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. So he got to go up and it was really cool. And Blake Shelton is the country music star of the year.
Really?
So, yes. Out of all the people and everything, I am a Blake girl though. I love him, but I love Jimmy Allen. I love many different performers.
Well, Blake Shelton has actually grown on me over the years since he's been in The Voice.
Exactly.
You see a different side to him. He's funny.
Yeah, because before that, I didn't know anything about him, but I like him.
It's a bit like the other guy that's in American Idol. Who's the judge? It's Lionel Richie.
What is his name? I can see his face. The other country judge that hosts American Idol. I didn't know anything about him. I only knew of Lionel Richie, and I knew of the female judge, but I had no idea about this guy. And he's grown on me, and how he goes out to Nashville and how he does things and how he mentors the people on American Idol. It's come full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty much a lot of it. And then at the end, they gave what they call the People's Champion Award. Dwayne The Rock won Johnson.
Wow.
So what The Rock does is he comes up on stage, and there's a young girl there that she submitted and won. How they give you, if you're really sick, and they give you an opportunity, like Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes.
So I think her Make-A-Wish was to meet him. They come in, they talk before the event, and when he wins the award, he has her come up on stage and he gives her the award. He shared with the audience that, The Rock always has, everybody who's ever been in his presence says that he is a really, really nice person. And, the person, before, because this was called The Greatest, was Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali had actually met The Rock, and he said to him, you know, you are showing up, you're doing the right thing, you are the greatest. So I am going to pass the baton to you. So when he won that award, he also talked about those steps. And he told the young girl that he was going to pass the baton to her.
Wow, nice.
And that's how the show ended. It was just amazing. So,
Well, I didn't see it, but I had it recorded, so I'm going to definitely watch it. And
yes,
this is a
I
great
think,
way to watch it with my family and my son.
yes, it was really beautiful. So, you know, people's choice. There were some, you know, some people got awards and you were like, huh? However, the big ones that they showed live were very touching and very sweet.
Nice.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about this. Has been over the last week a lot of live events. They did Annie live, then they turned
Yes.
around and they did Different Strokes live, and they did Facts of Life. So did you watch them? What do you think?
So I recorded the Facts of Life because it was back to back with Different Strokes. And I was in the US during those times because I came here for high school for 3 years, and I went back and got my degree and came back. So I loved Different Strokes and I loved Facts of Life. I did not watch it, I recorded it. But what I did watch was Annie live. Did you watch Annie live?
I started watching it. I haven't finished it.
Okay.
That young girl has a beautiful voice.
She is going to go a long way. She is
Yes.
really, really good. I loved the casting. All in all, I thought was a
Yes.
fantastic. Whoever casted all those people, fantastic job.
Yeah, I kept
Fantastic
tripping
job.
on Harry Connor because I know he's got a full head of hair.
Yes,
And I was
yes,
like, wow.
yes. So Taraji B. Henson was Miss Hannigan,
Yes.
and Nicole Scherzinger was Grace. Yes, as you said, Harry Connick. I kept trying to see how did they do the hair so it doesn't show the
Yes.
cap and everything. They did a great job.
A beautiful
And
job.
who else was in? The girl was amazing. I loved all the orphanages, the girls in the
Yes.
orphanage. They
Yes.
cast them really well because I don't know if you saw the original movie, Annie. That was my
Right.
favorite. The original was my favorite. And they did a very good job of casting the orphanages to be very similar to the original girls that were in there.
Exactly.
The only thing I was waiting for was if you watch the end of the original film, Annie, they have the girl Annie running away from the supposedly they call
Right.
them the parents of Annie, and then she gets away and she's like dangling from this thing, and the kids, the orphanage people are trying to get a hold. So they didn't do that. They kind of like changed it for kind of like a Broadway show, but I really
Right.
liked it, and I'm surprised. Nicole Scherzinger, she
Yes.
is a really good Grace. So
Yes.
watch it. She's amazing. She
Yes.
really is. She has all the nuances, and the way that she talks and dresses and everything is very similar to the original. So I'm
Yes.
impressed. I liked it. It was very good.
Yes. And anything that you're all, you know, we're talking about and you have something to share, please comment below and let us know. We'd love to hear your opinion.
Yeah. Did you watch it? Did you like it? What did you think of the cast?
Yes.
Yes. So because I didn't watch the other two, did you?
I did. I watched them live, and Kevin Hart is such a fool. You
He's
know, John
hilarious.
Lithgow picks him up like he's the, you know, like he's Gary Coleman. I mean, and carries him around. It's really funny. So next week we'll talk about that after you've had a chance to watch it, because it was just very interesting, and to see the evolution of the original live members, and then they would introduce them, and then they would talk about, now we're going to go into the show.
Oh,
So
I'm interested in. Oh,
yeah.
great. So I'm so
Oh,
glad I have that to look forward to because I'm looking forward to it.
excellent. So we'll pick that up next week.
Yes, we will.
So as we shared with you last week, there has, you know, once again, we are plagued with gun violence. You know, when we're going to talk about Michigan and the shootings, the one thing I want to say up front is I always believe when you know better, you do better. And women, we are sending you to government in Washington, D.C., not to become a part of the pack. We're sending you to flip the switch. You are a mom, you are a sister. Do you really, really believe that our gun laws are good the way they are? And people who are in those roles as women, you know, guys are going to do what guys are going to do. I'm just talking to women now. As a woman, do you really like the way our country is going? You really are looking forward to raising children in an environment where honesty and respect no one likes anymore. You have to be mean and nasty to be a success. Is that really what you want your children to grow up to be? If you do you just let it keep going like it's going? If you don't, please register and vote. We can change this. We can flip the switch. We can make a world where our children are safe to go outside and not have to worry about being shot. So with that said, Rosetta, you wanted to give us an update.
Yeah, so last week we did talk about that shooting. If all of you remember, if you are returning to our chats, or if you watched last week's, you'll know that we talked about the shooting of the teenage boy in Michigan in Oxford High School. And he had shot and killed 4 innocent teenagers from the high school. So there's been updates, and I've been actually following along with what's been happening. And now they've got the mother and father in custody.
Yes.
Originally, when this all happened, the mother and father actually went away in hiding, and they were not to be found in their home. They actually went and hid in a friend's, he's an artist, in a friend's artist studio in the basement. And the reason why they were able to be found was because someone recognized their car in the driveway after it was announced that they're looking for the father and the mother. And they were arrested. And there's been a lot of like debate, not really sure. It's kind of confusing as to, was the gun really purchased for the son? The parents had purchased the gun on Black Friday under their name. But I'm thinking, this is my take on this. If you have a different take, comment below. But I'm thinking they purchased the gun in their name, but it was really intended for the son to use.
Yeah, they actually, you know, people don't realize you can't post something and then take it down and think it's gone. Once it hits the internet, it's there forever. There are people
yes.
Yeah, there are people who that's their mission in life, is to go and dig out the unknowns of the internet. There was a post that with the gun that said early Christmas present. So the parents are really in a lot of trouble.
And they also they showed that he was looking for like means on the internet to find what is it called? Shoot, now I'm drawing a blank. But he was finding bullets. He was trying to find bullets.
Oh, or like
then the mother
with guns or stuff like that.
Yeah, he was trying to find bullets for the gun or something. I don't remember what it was, but the mother, she said something about, it's okay, you do it, just don't get caught or something. So she made that statement. And there was, so the artist is another person that we're not sure if he actually was an accomplice. So we're not sure about that. And in one interview, he said that he didn't know that they were being, the police were looking for the parents for that reason, that his son had shot the kids at school. And there was something else I was going to mention. Now I draw a blank. What was it? Now I forget what it was. Oh, and then the school, they were trying to say that the school had mentioned it to the parents, and the parents didn't do anything that day. They didn't take the child home, right? Because they said, one of the teachers had mentioned to the parents that they saw him drawing a picture of someone being killed with blood coming out and everything, and the parents didn't do anything. So that's kind of disturbing. So there's a lot of things that still need to be clarified, and if the parents are going to be charged, or what kind of on like, I don't know what I'm not a lawyer or anything. I don't know the terms, but accessory to whatever it is, there'll be.
It's accessory to the fact. There's also accessory after the fact. And they could be charged with involuntary manslaughter. It wasn't like they physically did it. However,
Right.
they bought the gun, they gave the gun to the child, the whole process.
Yeah. So that's exactly what Gloria was talking at the beginning. As a
Yeah.
mother, even as parents,
Yeah.
do your duty. We always talk about this in our chats. It's our duty to raise young, abiding citizens,
Yeah.
kind, loving citizens in this world. And it's our
Yeah.
job to nurture that and create that culture for the child. So whatever they were doing, obviously the child, children are born with blank slates. And what happens
Yes.
is the slate gets like the black little, I always say
Yeah.
chalkboard gets written
Yeah.
on by families, by teachers, by
Yeah.
friends that they hang out with. So
Yeah.
it's our job to be of that positive role model or the mentor to the child. So the parents, I believe, has to have something like they've got to be charged with something.
We talk a lot about, like racism in America, and American adults should bear full responsibility for that. If you are ever gifted with the pleasure of being in a hospital when a new baby is born, that baby is in a room with all different shades of colors of babies. That baby has no distinction that I am different, I am less, I am more, I am better. It's just a baby. And I've had the pleasure of going into areas like that when they needed people to come and to touch babies who are in ICUs and NIC units. And, because the human touch, I have a nephew that he fit in the palm of my hands when he was born. Now he's 6'8", 200 and some pounds. And it all stemmed from touch. We would go in and I would sit at that, at his little incubator, and I would sing to him and I would talk to him and I would tell him how wonderful he was and how he was such a gift to our family. And he, one day he woke up, he started crying, they took out all the tubes, so it's really sad when you see children and they'll see an adult and they burrow back because they're afraid. And I understand you have to teach your child, don't talk to strangers, but you don't have to teach your child, don't talk to a Black stranger, don't talk to an Asian stranger, don't talk to a Native American Indian stranger. That's where we're missing the mark. Yes, teach your child to be safe. However, teach your child how to read a person. We are born with these inert instincts. I can walk into a room right now and I can tell you who's nice and who's not. They don't have to talk. I can tell just by the way they turn their head and they look. I can see the disdain behind their eyes. Exactly. So let's work together and lift our babies up.
Exactly. Well said, Gloria, because it's so important. Our children are our future and we have to mentor and love them and teach them kindness and love. So we're going to we always talk about this. We throw it in sporadically and our take on it. And we'll always be talking about this. We will never stop talking about this, but we will keep an eye on what's happening with this Michigan story. And if you have any feedback and comments, let us know, because we'd love to hear your side of it.
Absolutely. Okay, let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's talk about The Bachelorette. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, it was the tell-all, the men tell-all. Oh my goodness. This was a sight for sore eyes.
Yes.
Telling you.
If you start at the kickoff, Peter.
The one with the pizza parlor.
Yes. Oh my God. And it's really, I understand there are people who have different versions of what they like in a pizza. When they started putting the feedback, the social media post about the pizza, I was like, oh my God. Number one, why would you go on a show where you could get a lot of publicity and then not be a kind person?
All those reviews and feedbacks of Peter's pizza parlor, I think they were all made up.
I think it was to, kind of loosen it up a little bit. However, the tension in the room with the guys, it wasn't working.
It was so sharp you could cut it with a knife. I'm telling you.
Yes.
It was crazy. Peter, but Peter he has a hand to play in this because Peter, everything you heard from him during the whole season was all about, everything that came up was about pizza, pizza,
Yes.
pizza.
Yes. So they called him out on his pizza. Oh.
Yeah. So, but what I did like was, I don't know who the guy was. Who was the guy that was bad mouthing Peter's pizza place? I forget the name of that one guy.
Oh, I know.
They had
He's the
they
one.
had a
Remember, they're the ones that had the disagreement. He's the one
disagreement,
that
a
took his
dueling
jacket.
disagreement. Yes, he
Remember,
threw
he
his
threw the
jacket in the
jacket?
pool.
Yes, yes.
I
So
don't
we
remember
both-
his name, but what I did like was the fact that at the end of the show, Peter,
Right, Peter.
pizza. I'm calling him Pizza now. Pizza Man. He said, "I have a surprise for everyone," and he came out and gave all the guys and the people on the stage, the two
Right.
hosts, pizza.
Yeah.
And he asked the other guy that was feuding with him, they asked him what he thought of the pizza. And he said, yes, it's not as bad as what I had before. And I think
Exactly.
he'd never tried Peter's pizza. But what I
Exactly.
really liked was that they buried the hatchet at the end
Yes.
and they hugged
they
it out.
hugged. Yes. I
So
thought
that's
that
what I
was
liked.
that was beautiful.
That's what I loved. And I love the fact that they went over to Rick, was it Rick, the one that came in a table with his head on a platter?
Yes, I really
Rick-
liked him.
Rick and Rodney were the two that I
Yes.
thought were like, they didn't have any kind of like animosity or any kind
Right.
of thing happening within the household among the men. They were
Right.
just, Rodney and Rick were really just there for Michelle.
For Michelle. Yeah.
Yes.
I
So it was
agree.
really sad, and it was really sad to see because Rodney really he was crying.
Yeah, Rodney really fell in love with Michelle. I mean, if you notice, and they showed it during some of the playback, they created a little handshake where they would kind of slap hands and then they do a little dance.
Yes.
And they did that together. And I thought, see, that's an all-in guy. Unlike somebody like Jamie. Oh my God. He was the most frustrating thing to me in the house. And then when he was sitting there with the guys, and every time something would come up, he says, well, there's two versions to that. I mean, he couldn't just say yes, no. He had to make it to where he was in the middle, and he was lying in the middle, and he would tell you if you want to go to the right or if you want to go to the left. He was a piece of work.
He was. And then there was Chris S., who kind of like, he did his thing and he wanted attention and everything, and it didn't go to his, luckily he was let go early.
Yes.
But the thing that I thought this was kind of weird. Do you remember during the show, I don't remember, Tasha, and who was the other host? Caitlin?
Caitlin, yes.
Caitlin, she brought up Tasha's like situation with her.
Yes.
I thought that was not called for. Why do they have to talk about that during the show?
Did you see Tasha left?
Yes,
because
she left.
She became emotional. She said, we love each other. We're working on it. I mean, I felt like saying, whoever whispered in your ear and told you to do that, that was wrong.
I would have said, no, I'm not doing it. That's
Tasha
private. That had nothing to do with the men's tell-all. What's that got to do with it? I mean,
nothing.
Why do you have to bring that up?
She had nothing to do with it. She was so upset. So
and
I didn't
what is
like
she going to
that
say?
part. No. Well, she shouldn't say, because if she says, it's over and he doesn't think it's over, oh, now it is. If she says it's still going and he thinks it's over, okay. So she couldn't. I mean, it was just such a bad thing to do.
So that was the wrong time and place for the whole thing. The whole thing was bad. It wasn't a good idea to do that. But it's nice that we could actually, and they said I think you mentioned it, right? That Clayton is the new Bachelorette.
Yeah, I told you.
Yes, Gloria mentioned it, right? I did not know that.
Yeah, but did you notice out of all the seasons that they've ever done this, they came down and showed you 2 of the final 3.
So they did. They actually showed. They actually kind of.
Do you not
did
want
a
anybody
spoiler.
to watch this? I mean, and I understand that the girls, really go at each other and all that. However, they almost showed you the final 3. So if you're a part of Bachelor Nations, all you do is watch the opening and then wait till they get down to like the
They
final
did too
4 or
much
5.
of a spoiler this time. They should have kept
Way
it.
too much.
Yeah,
Way
they
too
should have
much.
yeah, so they showed too much, but I'm looking forward to watching that because I did like Clayton. I really
Yeah.
thought that he was really genuine. And when I really noticed him was that week when they had the group dates and then the kids came
And
out,
the
Michelle's
kids.
kids came out. He
Yeah.
really showed his real self. And the
Yeah.
fact that all the men were in agreement that Clayton is ready. He's ready to be married. He's ready to have kids. You know that, it's his
Yeah.
time. And he's always said
Absolutely.
that since day one. So I'm looking forward to Bachelor that's coming out in January. And I can't believe that. So this week was Tell All. Then we have next week, and then there's two more episodes, right? So it's like dragging
Yeah.
on.
I know. Well, the thing is it's only going to give us a week in between the end of Michelle and the beginning of. I'm like, it's too much, and it's to me, it's really interesting. Okay, so they showed Rodney's mom, and remember, her concern was, I didn't want my son to get his heart broken.
Yes.
So then they show the final 3. Then they start showing cameos of parents. Now we don't know whose parent is who yet, and they're talking about he's not ready. And I'm like, oh my
That's
God.
Nate. That's Nate's parent, I think. Nate's mother, I think.
Well, because Michelle is the first girl Nate has ever brought around her. That doesn't mean he's not ready. That could mean that he really likes her.
This is the real deal.
Yeah. And then somebody else's dad, because that was Nate's mom, but then there's a father who says he's not ready. So I don't know who daddy is.
We don't remember, even though we saw them bringing them home to their parents. We don't remember.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see. And, I just really, really loved Rodney, and I loved the playfulness that he and Michelle had. So whoever she ends up with, I hope it's someone that's going to protect her heart like Rodney would have protected her heart.
Well, yes, but I still like my Brandon. Sorry, Brandon.
I
all the way.
know. We're going to go down to the end. I'm going to see how Nate does. You're going to see how Brandon does, and we'll see who Michelle chooses. I've never been a Joe person because I know she slid into your DM, but you ignored her. So, and I'm sure her picture was of her just as she looks now. So if you didn't like me before as a school teacher, you don't have to like me now. I understand we live in the same place. It would be really great to have a relationship. I don't know. So I hope it's between
I don't know.
Nate and Brandon.
Yes, you're right. Exactly with Joe. And she keeps saying he has this quiet confidence. I can see there's going to be an issue with that because they're going to have if she chooses him, they're going to have the relationship, and sometimes you get frustrated when you have to keep pulling people's emotions out of them.
Yes.
It's tiring.
Yeah.
And you just feel like, why can't you just you have no emotion? What are you thinking?
What are you feeling? Give me something. Give me something.
Right.
And as a woman, I've dated both the outgoing and I knew everything at every moment versus someone who never said anything. I never knew what was going on. I prefer the chatterbox to somebody that I don't know, because I prefer that so much
more than someone that holds their emotions in.
Yes,
because I've known men. I do know men that have that quiet confidence. I can think of particularly one. And it doesn't work for relationships. It doesn't, because the woman gets frustrated and you never know what they're thinking. And I don't know. If you like that type, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I'm like you, Gloria. I like someone who actually shows their emotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we'll keep you in tune and you keep us in tune. If you have a comment, put it below.
And who are you betting on that she ends up with?
Out of the top 3, who's your pick? So I just wanted to give everyone a quick update. As we know, we shared with you that Chris Cuomo had some proprietary information related to his brother's accusers, who his brother was the governor of New York City. And it was the mayor or the governor. I'm not 100%. I can't remember. No, it was Governor Cuomo. So he was the governor.
Yes.
And initially last week, we shared with you that Chris was on suspension. Chris has been terminated. He is no longer with CNN. They did an investigation and they found that he used information to feed that information to his brother. He didn't do it publicly out. However, they found out that, and I'm sure they asked him and he probably said, yeah, I did.
Because he seemed like he was like okay with it. He thought there was nothing wrong with it.
Well, the thing that he did say is that, if it comes down to, the governor or my brother, I am going to stand with my brother.
Right.
And I'm
right.
here for my brother because family is foremost to me.
Exactly.
So that's what he chose. And unfortunately, he lost his job. And the day that it happened, the world was ablaze because a lot of people were saying, the old adage, if that was a woman, he'd be out, no more job. If that was a person of color, he'd be out, no more job. And other people were like, are you kidding? He may be off the air for a month or whatever. And then somebody's going to pick him up and he'll have his own show. He's not going anywhere. So, it's almost funny, different strokes for different folks.
Different folks.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's just, it's the facts of life. I got them both in. Facts of life.
You got that in.
Oh, so we also wanted to give you all a COVID update. As we shared last week, the boosters are out and they're trying to get people to get the third shot. I was very proud. Our governor was on the View this morning, and he shared that right now in the state of California, we have 11 confirmed cases of the Omicron virus.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I think it's like
Omicron or something. Omicron.
Yes, Omicron. Yeah, Omicron. Omicron. So we have 11 cases here. And he said that our vaccine rate is at 93%.
Wow.
At least 93% of the adults in California have received at least one shot.
Nice.
So that was like Whoopi was like, yes. And Whoopi even made a joke with him. She goes, oh, I bet you those people who were trying to get you fired, they don't know what to do with themselves. Look at you here. Because he was on The View to promote a child's book that he wrote because, he has 3 young kids, and he was sharing how when all of this started happening and one of his children had a really bad reaction to being stuck at home and missing the connection with other kids. So he wrote a book talking about how there are things that occur with our children, but when you're so busy, you don't even see it. And, is to help parents see when a child has an issue. And Whoopi brought up the fact that, she's dyslexic. And Whoopi said, she self-taught herself how to read because, say the number is 721, the numbers move. She could see 127, then she could see 271. They don't stay where they're supposed to be. And she was saying that this book that he wrote is going to help a lot of families. So I thought that was really cool. Our little old governor out there.
I think that's amazing because I know in the past, Gloria has talked about this a lot, like during this whole COVID time and we were in lockdown and everything, a lot of kids had depression and even some kids committed suicide.
Yes.
So, and parents are so busy, consumed with work, having to deal
social
with
media
kids.
And all this crap. They need
to that they forget they forget to sit down and really open up and talk to their kids and ask them, really, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Yes. Sit there and listen to your kids. Yes. That's so important.
Yeah. So he wrote a book, and I'm sure we'll start to hear more information about it here in California. And you wanted to also talk a little bit about some of the other CDC recommendations.
Well, the CDC recommendations was that they were saying that because everything, unlike last year, we were in lockdown. Well, in California, definitely, we were in lockdown over Christmas. I remember we were in lockdown during COVID, then we kind of opened back up, and then we locked down again because of the Delta variant.
Right.
So they're saying that this holiday season, more people are going to be gathering because more things are open. Things are not in lockdown now.
Yes.
So they're saying that if you're going to be gathering, we should seriously consider taking a COVID test before going to indoor events.
Yes.
Because you never know, right? Because there's going to be like, people have been locked up too much and they're too happy to be out there. And we're blessed that we can do this now. But
Yes.
some people are just going to be careless and they're not going to be that, they're not going to take the precautions they need to. So,
Yeah.
so they're saying take that COVID test.
And it's free. Free.
So
The
I'm
test
wondering,
is-
so I guess you could just go to, I guess, Walgreens or CVS and they have COVID tests, right?
Yeah.
And you can get, it's like a 24-hour thing, right? Don't you
Yeah.
take it and they'll
Yeah.
tell
You
you
just
that.
take the test and
Right.
then well, they even have the ones they call them instant.
Oh, the
So
15-minute ones?
yeah.
I don't know if those are really that accurate.
Yeah. Well, it's just to make people feel a little more secure, because a friend of mine, she has a friend, and her friend has a big family. So for Thanksgiving, since we're, kind of talking about grateful and gratitude and all of this, they decided to get together for Thanksgiving. Now, he is a vaccinated person. He got his vaccine. A lot of the people who came to his home did not. So first his wife got COVID and she made her transition. She passed away.
Wow.
And then there was, they started going back and saying, don't you have your vaccine? And they're like, oh, that's a lie. There's still a lot of people who don't believe, and what they're doing, which I think is worse. I'm sorry. See, that's why I'm not president, because like I always tell you, it's your choice, it's your decision. However, be honest. So the people who came to this event, over 60% of the participants are non-vaxxers.
What?
And they did not tell the people, they didn't say anything, sort of like, what is his name? Aaron Rodgers, the football player.
Wow.
He knew he did not have a vaccine. So instead of him just saying, I don't have no vaccine, I'm not getting it at all, y'all do what y'all got to do. I want to play football. I'm not. He just didn't say anything. So there are now people getting sick from the exposure of Thanksgiving, not because they thought that they were in a room with people that were responsible, but because people are lying. I don't understand why.
I would have invited such a big, it seems like it was a large gathering.
Yeah.
If I was hosting it, I would have made sure, are you vaccinated? Show me your vaccine card.
Yeah, bring your card.
If you're vaccinated, most people that are vaccinated are willing to show their card.
Yeah.
Right? Or show whatever digital version they have.
Yes. Just bring it up on your phone and show it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so sad that people died from that event.
And this is someone that you profess to love, and yet you're going to basically risk killing them for a political reason. Right. Not because the science is askewed. And I've talked to a lot of people, and I think I'm finally getting a little bit of where the cray is coming. So people believe if they allow the government to mandate a vaccine, what's to stop the government from mandating how they live their life? Now, you and I are like, well, they have nothing to do with each other. However, if you are in an environment where every day they say the government is overreaching, the government is trying to take over your life, the government is trying to tell you how to raise your children, the government, you get to a point where maybe you think, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. However, once again, coming back to mommies, because mommies are more smarter about things like this. If one thing has nothing to do with the other, one thing will save your life. I heard a doctor yesterday. He says, here's the deal. If you get COVID with the vaccine, you will be sick. If you get COVID without the vaccine, you will die. And they're talking about because of all the variants. They're not just talking about COVID-19, that's over. And COVID Delta is still taking out more people. And unfortunately, a lot of those people are young people. So moms, women, do your research. If you are a Fox person and you only believe in Fox, then you should look at Why? Why am I so narrow-minded? Why can I not take the blinders off and see the whole world? Because
Well,
there's a
Gloria, those people that believe in Fox are not going to think, why am I so blinded? They don't think that way.
I
So they
know,
won't stop and think, why am I so narrow-minded? Why am I not seeing the whole picture?
right?
So
It's just sad.
it
It's
really
sad,
is. It
you
really
know?
is. Why can't you do it for our health, not for
Yeah.
political reasons?
Yeah. Why can't you do it for each other? You
Right.
know, like I told you when I was younger, my grandmother and God, I used to pray to God, please don't let anybody break down around my, around my mother or my grandmother, because they would just let any stranger in the house, any stranger. And I used to think these people are going to cut us up, and they never did. And the most important thing was the fact that they had such open, pure hearts that those people would come back and say, I just want to come back and say thank you. If you hadn't have taken us in, our kids and we would have frozen the car. I mean, and that's what that's how we got the name, the United States of America. That's what we need to have. That's what
we need to go
do.
back to the we need to go back to United. That's why that's what Biden was trying to do, right? He was trying to unite the nation back together instead of blues and reds.
That's wonderful. So the other thing is, we always try and talk to you about global warming, global warming, global warming. And Hawaii, our beautiful, beautiful Hawaii. I think, the 7th was the day, I think it was 80 years since Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
It was such a devastating event that occurred. And so what they do is every year they try and bring all the recipients back together to acknowledge and to, just be there and let the people who survived tell their stories. This year they were down to only 45 survivors. And right now, because of global warming, they are just they said something like 25 inches of rain in a day. The islands are just being slaughtered with water. And, we've got to do better. We cannot stick our head in the sand and say, oh, it's just weather. If you are a human being and you care about anyone other than yourself, you have got to start collaborating to take care of Mother Earth. Hawaii, I love Hawaii, and it is just so bad right now.
We've been talking about this forever, global warming, and something has to be, it's a collective thing. We all have to do this in a collective manner to think about our future, the globe, and what our kids are being raised in. What kind of planet is our kids being raised in? I think it's really sad that adults are not thinking about this, and we have younger generations like Greta Thunberg and other people really pushing for us to do something about this. It wasn't until she made such a big thing about this, came over and spoke at the United Nations.
Yeah.
And we still have adults now that are not concerned about this.
Yeah.
Look, we're talking about this, Hawaii.
Yes.
This has never happened. What about all the fires we've been having? All the flooding we've been having?
Yes.
If it's not normal in your state to have such weather like this, then tell me, what is it? If it's not global warming, what is it?
What is it? What is it? I remember when I was a little girl, most of the time when there was a storm, the clouds always got dark and it rained. If it started raining and the sun was out, my grandmother, she was a character. She used to say, oh, that's just the devil spanking his wife and she's crying. And we were kids and we would go, whoa, okay, so we don't want to be outside when that action's going on. We want just a regular plain storm. And, the thing, in addition to 25 inches of water, of rain, Hawaii is also getting snow. And the snow is going on top of the volcanic ash. And cray people are going skiing. Now, that's not like here in Tahoe, where you can go skiing and you got 12 inches of powder. You know, that's hitting rocks and ash and all of that.
Lumps and bumps underneath your skiing. You could get seriously
Yes,
injured.
you could get hurt. So I definitely understand how people are thinking that, you know, oh, it's just weather. And people like in Hawaii who don't normally get snow are thinking, woohoo, let's go skiing. However, you have to look at the total picture. So the next time you're out and about, we're talking to you, everybody. I want you to look at a child's face and I want you to think to yourself, how is that child going to live and breathe in 20, 30 years from today? Even though many of us will probably have made our transition, or we're going to be, you know, sitting somewhere not really caring because we're just sitting in our little bubbles. However, our children, our youth, don't you want to leave the world better for them?
This is not the kind of planet we want to leave our kids with, really.
Really. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just grateful that Rosetta and I get the opportunity every week to talk to you all about this. And as we shift into the holiday season, we all just went through Thanksgiving. We got to spend some quality time with our families. And as we start to prepare, as she's got her cute hat on for Christmas, you know, Monday was the beginning of Hanukkah. There's lots of celebrations that are going on. And when you are in that spirit of celebratory faith and love and joy for the human race, let's do something to stop all of this hatred and disdain. You know, we've got to do better so that our children will at least have the opportunity to have a good life.
Yeah, and you're talking about the holidays. I'm looking at the calendar. Today, it's December the 8th. We have 2 more weeks. Can you believe it?
No.
2 more weeks. 2 weeks and a couple of few days until the actual day, until 25th.
No.
My goodness. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes. Well, we really appreciate, you know, you being with us. Ellen always reminds us that she feels the love in the room. She sends it back out, go out and share it with the world.
Yes.
And we hope that as you spend time with us, we know we talk about some very serious, heavy things. We just want you to see that it doesn't have to be negative. There's my baby.
Hey,
it doesn't have to be negative. It can be positive, because when you know better, let's do better.
Exactly. Thank you. And here you go, Angel. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's making a big old mess.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to show him. He wants to do it his way. See the tail?
Yeah, he wants to do it his way. Oh, well, you stay there then. Stay there, dear. Okay, but thanks, everyone. If you can see me over here, we appreciate you so much. And if you like this video, hit the like thumb icon. Please consider subscribing to our channel so you can get more of these videos, and hit the bell notification if you don't miss any of our videos. Thank you so much, so much, so much. And,
yes.
And remember to
always
keep smiling.
Bye.
Bye now. Take care, everyone.